What is up? June 20th, 2026, weekly update. Highlight of this week is actually renewing my faith in God, quite frankly. I don't talk about God too much in my weekly updates. I kind of like to keep it focused on comedy, but that's not going to be the case today. So, if you don't want to hear about God or you don't want to hear about my faith, just skip the video right now. That said, yeah, faith, God, Jesus, spirituality, like it's a foundational part of my life. It really is. I have my Bible right here. My Bible's always right here, right next to me. Every single day. Every single time I'm recording, it's right here. And my faith in God is the reason why I embarked on all of this in the first place. Honestly. I was at a place where I hated my life, I hated my work, I hated my job, I hated what I was doing, and I was miserable. I got paid really well, but other than that, there was nothing about my life at that point that I looked forward to, so to speak. I looked forward to young adults. I looked forward to community with other Christian believers before I fully became Catholic. Um, and that was nice and that was good. And I liked reading the Bible and I liked talking about the Bible and I liked talking about scripture and I liked uh, putting my 2 cents into the communal uh, groupthink, if you will, as to like what a particular passage may or may not mean. And I just kept going. I just kept going. I kept praying. I kept learning, I kept asking questions, I kept reading, I kept watching videos. I just kept feeding my thirst for the knowledge of God and the knowledge of Jesus Christ, honestly. And lo and behold, it led me to fixing one of the biggest problems in my life, which was my work, my job, and just how I was living at that time. And it's led me to this, Vanessa and comedy and being a server. And I really enjoy it. I'm really thankful for it. It's hard sometimes, it really is, but it's also really rewarding when things come together and when I get over another obstacle or I get over something else. It is a weird reward. Like I think about when Vanessa was not built out. Like I have a bed now. I used to sleep on some storage containers with like some foam pads on top and a blanket with a pillow. Like that was it. It was not good for me. It was not comfortable to sleep on, but I did it because I was like, it's only temporary. I'm gonna build this thing out, and I did. There's a time where I had to drag my fridge in Vanessa, and I had to like drag it across the floor to like pull it out, open it up, and get my food and eat and everything. And now the fridge is on some rails, and the rails just it slides right out. It's very convenient, much easier to get to my food and whatnot. It's not perfect, but it's much better than it was before. The lights, getting lights in here, that was a huge thing because you don't realize how convenient it is to just flip a switch and lights turn on until you don't have it anymore. So for a while, I was using the flashlight on my phone. I was using like one of those lanterns that you open up and then you get light that way. Um, and then when I got all the lights wired up and set up in here, and I could just flip a switch, turn it off and on, change the colors and everything. Um, I'm just like, yes, dude, this is much better. And then the AC as well. So all of that was a result of trusting God and this adventure I feel He's called me on. Um, so like the last few weeks, I felt like I was still good with God for the most part, but I felt like I was kind of like falling away a little bit, but I still felt close to Him. And then this last week on Thursday, my original plan, if you saw my video last week, my original plan was I was going to do a mic on Sunday, a mic on Monday, two mics on Tuesday, three mics on Wednesday, and then three mics on Thursday for 10 mics. I ended up not going to the mic on Monday because I was like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. If I don't get sleep tonight and then I'm out Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday night, it's gonna suck. It's gonna suck. So I went to Sunday. I didn't go out Monday. I did two mics Tuesday. Then I did three mics on Wednesday. And then when it came to do mics on Thursday, there was just a feeling that I got, and I trust this feeling. There was a feeling that I got that was just like, I shouldn't go out tonight. I shouldn't go out tonight. I should just stay home because I'm house sitting for my sister. I should just stay home and just chill tonight. Like I know I could and I want to and I was planning to. Like my whole day was set up so that I could do that. And I was going to do the same set. I did a bunch of writing on Wednesday, so Thursday I was like I'm going to do the same jokes cuz I'm still trying to get the timing down because if I write more stuff um it's like I'm changing it too much before I can even get comfortable with what it is that I've got. Once I get comfortable with it, then I can start changing words in it, and that's a lot easier than changing it on the fly. At least for me right now, and that's based off like the experience I've had thus far. So I was like, I don't need to write anything new. I need to rewrite like maybe one joke, and then that's it, right? And then I can go out with that and just do the same set again to get another repetition and to keep feeling it out a little bit right now. And that was the original plan. And I was kind of set on that. So I was like, you know what? Let me just watch The Chosen, right? The Chosen is this Christian show based on Jesus Christ, go figure. And his disciples and, the life of Jesus. And I had watched the first season before, and I'd watched part of the second season before, but I had never finished the whole thing. And they're on like season 5 right now. So I was like, you know what? Let's watch this. Let's take this time to just sit down and watch this thing, watch this show about Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. And I did, and it was really nice. It was really nice. I watched like 3 episodes back to back to back. Um, and by the time I was done with that third episode, it was like 10 o'clock. It was like 10 o'clock. And by this point, I kind of decided like I'm not gonna go out. I'm just gonna binge The Chosen all night long. And that was the original plan. The original plan was comedy, mics, do the same set, change that for let's just watch The Chosen all night. Cause I just the feeling that I had was just like, don't go out. So I didn't. And I just sat there and I watched The Chosen, and it was nice. And I felt like I was getting closer to God. I really did. And when it hit 10 o'clock, I was like, do I want to smoke right now? Do I want to smoke some weed? Like I could smoke some weed and watch The Chosen. I could continue to watch The Chosen. Um, but part of me was like, no, I shouldn't do that. Like we're good right now. It's okay. Things are okay. I don't need to get high. I don't need to get high. Um, but then I said, screw it. Like, why not? I've done it before. I've done it before, you know? So, and I didn't have work the next day, Friday. So I was like, let's just do it. So I smoked a little bit, not a lot, a little bit. And then when I sat down to watch The Chosen, it kind of like clicked in my head in that moment, which was that like, oh, dude, no, like, it's like I was spending time with God in that moment, and I had to go and get high to spend time with God. It's like, no, I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to do that. I felt really bad about that afterward too. Like, I sat there and I thought about it, and I was like, "Dude, no. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing?" You know, like my relationship with Christ isn't based on being high, you know? Like, I've had very strong moments of realizing things about my faith while I was high. Yes, I have. But that's not like the basis for it, you know? It might like it's a choice. And there's part of me that was like conflicted about that because it's like I don't need to get high to have faith. But I was very comfortable and chilling watching The Chosen, trying to get closer to God because I felt like I was falling away a little bit. And then in the middle of having this really good time and just a nice quiet time to myself with God, I get high and I'm just like, "No, dude, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that." And it was really annoying. It was really frustrating, you know? And the irony is that like I sat there and I thought about it. Like I was gonna play video games because I'm just like I can't watch The Chosen now because I feel bad. But then I was like, well, I don't want to just play games and like ignore the feeling. So then I'm just like, let me just sit here in this feeling and like think about it and contemplate it. And what ended up happening is I fell asleep. I just completely fell asleep. So I didn't even play the games that I was like, well, at least I can do that while high, right? I just fell asleep and I woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Then, I laid down properly, turned off everything, and went to sleep for the day, you know? And so Friday, I went to like a volleyball thing with my ministry group. That was fun. That was nice. And I had to be up early this morning because I had another volunteer thing this morning, Saturday morning. And I did that, and that was nice. But I didn't smoke anything yesterday on Friday. Like, I thought about it, but I'm like, "No, dude, no, not right now, not right now." I just need to focus on getting closer to God. I need to focus on renewing my faith, you know, because like, it's there, it's always a part of my life, but it can fall to the wayside at times, and I feel like in that instance, when I did that and I made that mistake, it fell to the wayside in a disregarding type of way. And I feel like I need to make amends for that too, honestly. So, like, after it happened like, I sat there and I thought about it, and I'm like, this is one of those things where, like, I feel like I'm in a state of disgrace with my faith. I'm in a state of disgrace with God. So, like, I need to go to confession over this. Um, and I can't take communion until I confess, until I go through reconciliation. So, yeah, it sucks. I'm not happy about it. I regret it, you know, but it is what it is, and that's what happened. So it's not so much a highlight as it is a low light, honestly. Um, and that's where I'm at, quite frankly. So that's basically been the week, right? It's not really comedy related. It's comedy's tangential. It's much more faith related today. But that's because, like, I mean, my faith it underpins everything that I've done and everything that I'm doing and everything that I hope to accomplish. So it felt like this was a time that it was worth talking about, just because, yeah, it's the reason why I didn't do any mics on Thursday, which then also led to everything else, So that's basically it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, whoever you are. Went a little longer today, but oh well, that's okay. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. You're amazing. You're a beautiful person made in God's image. Have a good day and God bless as always.